Hello, my name is Melody Ann. This is my first collective reading on YouTube. My Instagram is Mountains by Melody Ann, and there are impersonators. I don't know if, I highly doubt they got deleted, but I did have a couple of impersonation accounts. Please keep in mind I would never reach out to you to do a reading in case you do follow me, but this is going to be a collective reading for Aries for the remainder of the month. Now, the first couple of cards that I pulled were the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Swords. And with this kind of being the forefront of the energy that I picked up for you, I feel like this has been the energy that you have probably felt around you. You might have felt like this for the last couple of weeks to several weeks, maybe like the last 2 months or so. And it feels like you have been in this energy because you like to put your all into situations, into opportunities, into your work, but it doesn't always pay you back. So there's not always a reciprocity, or the reciprocity that you deserve, that you expect, or that you're looking for in certain situations. And it feels like you've kind of reached a boiling point where you're just like, you know what, this truly is not for me. And I think it's taking you a little bit to get to this point because you've been in this Eight of Cups, Eight of Swords energy, but the only thing that has been holding you back has been the attachment to maybe the outcome, the attachment to the situation, to the opportunity, to the person, whatever the circumstance may be. And it doesn't feel like you're even fully satisfied or fully committed to walking away just yet, but I think the awareness is kind of dripping in, like, this is probably not it for me. If this is in regards to finances, you might have maybe felt like you've been passed up on a promotion. If it's in regards to a person, I think that you probably either gave someone several chances or you allowed yourself to kind of put in the maximum effort trying to make something succeed, and it didn't. And so now you're just like, what was the point? What was the point of all of this time? What was the point of all of this energy? So it feels like there's a lot of frustrations that might have been coming up. You might have been having a hard time sleeping, and I think that the awareness of how much you have been kind of depleting yourself and maybe staying stuck somewhere has truly kind of set in, and it's almost like it's gotten to a point where you've gotten frustrated enough that you're finally ready to kind of do something about it. You're finally ready to say, you know what, this is it. I don't want to be in this anymore. I don't want to be stuck here anymore. And you're finally ready to take action on whatever this was. Now, the next couple of cards that I pulled for you were the Empress and the Star. The Star card, however, had originally come out in reverse. But what I felt with these cards were that the Empress card is what you will be kind of stepping into. The Star energy that I felt was what was previously lacking. But with the Empress coming up the way that it is, I feel like there is going to be a lot of purging around your solar plexus chakra. And I say that because it feels like you might have been operating more out of a wounded feminine energy. And so when we have a divine feminine wound, or when we are carrying or embodying a wounded feminine energy, we tend to put ourselves last, and we might deplete ourselves. We might intentionally or purposely or consciously put ourselves in certain situations that we know are just not going to result in any type of good for us. And I feel like that might have been the case for you. And it's just kind of going back to, I want this. So it's narrow thinking, and it's almost what is it, tunnel vision. There you go. That's what I was looking for. So it feels like you get stuck in this tunnel vision to where you're this is what I want, this is what I'm going to focus on, I'm going to get it no matter what. I'm going to exhaust myself no matter what. And I think that pattern or behavior is what you're actually letting go of. But I think that with the Empress card being followed by the Star card, the Star card was initially in reverse, and I do feel like this is more of like a transformative energy for you, because this entire situation, like the fact that you have been feeling like this, like feeling stuck here for some time already, it's forced you to new levels of vulnerability and honesty with yourself that you previously were not prepared to truly face or truly like dig into. So the Star card following the Empress feels really, really good to me. It feels like the vulnerability within self. It feels like surrender, and it feels like trusting more in divine timing rather than trying to kind of force all of these little pieces to kind of fit together, even though they're not even the right sizes. And then the next couple of cards that I pulled for you were the Four of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. And going back to the Empress card, coming right after the Seven of Swords, I feel like with the Four of Pentacles, like that pattern might be something that is kind of difficult to let go of, because when we think that we have control, or when we think that we can have control over a certain situation, or control the outcome of something, that's when we're like, nope, super fixated. We might even close ourselves off to opportunities that are better for us, or that are in better alignment with us. And I think that you might kind of what's the word, like the seesaw, like teeter-totter back and forth between, no, I'm ready to let go, I'm ready to kind of surrender, and no, I want control. So notice when you start to feel like this. Notice when you start to feel like you have to be able to see the outcome of something in order to be happy to some degree. And when you start to notice that, I want you to focus on your solar plexus chakra as well as your root chakra to kind of ground yourself again. Allow yourself to feel the discomfort of not knowing, because the not knowing might bring discomfort, but that's also where the magic truly is. Because it really, how boring would life be if we knew every single thing that was coming for us? That's a drag. I don't want to watch a movie if I already know the end of it. Like, how boring. So allow yourself to kind of reframe your inner narrative and to transform your perspective so that you can truly lean in and trust your instincts to know and to be able to discern when certain situations or certain people are meant for you, and when you should maybe keep your distance a little bit. And then with the Page of Wands, this one feels really optimistic to me. I think that this is going to be like your main energy in this next month. What month are we in? June? I feel like this is going to be your main energy for June, because he looks really optimistic to me. And while you might have depleted yourself to some degree, and I say that because like in the Eight of Cups, you see how much water there is here, and then in this one there is so much less, and then there's this one, and this one's kind of like in a desolate land. So I feel like you recognize how long and how many times you might have repeated a pattern or a behavior that in time like results in you depleting yourself, or maybe pouring out a cup to someone that can't pour back into you, or certain jobs that are just not paying you enough. So whatever the situation might be, I feel like you're gonna be able to look back and see like, oh damn, like I've actually done this a ton, I've done this for a while, or I've done this a lot. And you are going to allow yourself to take the necessary steps to kind of stop that, to be able to truly rebuild and start new without also carrying this energy. Because sometimes we start to create new relationships carrying this energy, and that's exactly what leads us back to the same energy, and what keeps us there. So trust your instincts, trust when you feel safe, trust when you feel encouraged and you feel like you can really surrender, trust what comes up, so that you can continue forward without having to kind of look back at the past, or without craving the past or what you think might have been good from whatever the past was. Allow yourself to get curious about where you're heading so that you can start to just build something new for yourself ultimately. that's all I got for you. It looks like a really good reading, but please allow yourself the time that you need to purge and tune into maybe a little bit more of your masculine energy so that you can balance any wounded feminine energy that you might be carrying, and allow yourself to truly surrender into what is showing up for you, and also to get uncomfortable, because surrendering is very uncomfortable, but that's also where the magic is. Trust me, I know from both sides. I hope that this is helpful in some way, shape, or form. Please remember, I will never, ever, 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 ever DM you for a reading. I have a website for that. It is theholistic.healer.org and not .com. And again, my only Instagram as of right now is Mountains by Melody Ann. Thank you.